There's tons in South Seattle because you have a lot of old projects there that people, Slattery and others, that have retrofitted and updated and to beautiful buildings.
Yeah, I mean,
Showrooms.
generally these happen in markets where there's not a lot of land that you can...
Close in.
Yeah, you're close
San
in.
Francisco.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly right. Where you just can't go find other land, so you got to take what's existing and make it better. Welcome to our Industrial Advisors podcast. We have a 5-minute Friday today on obsolete spaces and what some developers, owners have done to create those spaces and turn them back into spaces that tenants want to occupy.
Retrofitting.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe we start with a couple examples within the market that we've seen,
and maybe close with is it viable in today's market?
Correct.
Higher vacancy.
Yeah.
So a few that we've seen, IRG's done it. Very well. They did it in Tacoma with the big project Super Value site. IRG did it in Auburn with the old GSA site.
Yeah, they bought those
roof World War II buildings.
Yes, old buildings with the idea they'd lease them out as is and see what happens, and it's gonna turn out to be a great project with it getting redeveloped.
That's right. And there's several examples in South Seattle. But I'm just saying the one that comes to mind is the lift project, the old Sears building on 4th Avenue.
Yeah.
But there's tons in South Seattle because you have a lot of old projects there that people, Slattery and others, that have retrofitted and updated and to beautiful buildings.
Yeah, I mean,
Showrooms.
generally these happen in markets where there's not a lot of land that you can...
Close in.
Yeah, you're close in.
San Francisco.
Yes, exactly right. Where you just can't go find other land, so you got to take what's existing and make it better.
That's right. So all these guys have been successful.
Yeah, and 212th Business Park is another good example.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 212th was really designed for kind of 100,000 foot users, million square foot park. That's what, 6 buildings? 6 buildings.
Yeah, something like that. It's the old Boeing stuff.
Yeah. And so at the beginning of our careers, those were large users. Either they took the whole building or 3/4 of a building. They were very large users. And now congested truck course. So they went in there. It was PS Business Parks that went in first?
They went in...
Or did they? No, they did. They're the ones that bought it and shrunk it up.
Yeah.
I think somebody owned it. It was ARA.
ARA owned it.
Bought
they sold it. Yeah.
And I was on it then, leased it up. Then PS Business Parks bought it from them, and then they chopped it up because at that point, a lot of people, even Northwest Corporate Park and other parks, were starting to take those old buildings with shared truck courts that were 120 shared or whatever, and busting those spaces up to 20s, 30s, 40s, right?
Yeah, well, that if you remember, that whole complex traded at like $38 a square foot in the downturn. $38 a foot for existing existing product.
What's that land worth right now? 55?
Yeah, all of that.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So it's just interesting to look back, and that was that during one of the downturns.
Yes.
But yeah, $38 a foot for 1 million feet in the heart of Kent.
So going to the question and kind of wrapping this up is that viable today in today's market? Well, interestingly enough, we're selling a site in South Seattle, the former Arta Glass plant on West Marginal Way, and tons of offers. A couple of those offers, and there were probably 4 companies looking at it to say, what can we remove and keep, right? And then just split that up into small users with yard. And when I I never dreamt somebody was going to come in with that approach.
Yeah.
And when guys wanted to tour it, I'm like, you're not saving any of this old junk,
yeah,
right? And sure enough, when they walked it and listening to the way they would do it, I'm like, oh, like
there's functional
they could save this old junk, right? And redo it. So I don't know. We're only first round into offers on that, but I wouldn't be surprised if one of those guys came through and transacted on that.
Yeah, I mean, if you can go into buildings like that and create kind of a unique advantage for how you reposition it, whether there's
20s
yard,
with yard,
yes, it meets the tenant demand of the marketplace.
Yeah,
in an infill location, that pencils.
That's right.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I think it is viable and will continue to be. Just finding those opportunities are getting fewer and far between.
That's right. I think we'll continue to see things like you happened in 212th Business Park, especially with that vacancy in the 1 to 200 range. You're going to see guys chopping buildings up like that and retrofitting them to the lower vacancy.
Yep. We will keep an eye on it. Happy Friday. Thank you for listening.